In the past few months, I watched a video of a family who has a child with Sanfilippo syndrome, right? And if that child is very hyperactive, I think ADHD is not found in all children with Sanfilippo syndrome. So the mother said that she tried controlling her child's hyperactivity by taking medical cannabis, and it is one of the byproducts of herbal remedies. And she said that she found there was, in fact, I would say, it reduced significantly her child's hyperactivity. And it is also used for children with epileptic seizures. But what about children with Sanfilippo syndrome? Have you ever explored cannabis to help manage low seizures or hyperactivity? And if so, what has your experience been?
So, yes. So when Logan was about 7 years old, it was around that time that CBD oil was starting to get real popular. So we actually started giving Logan CBD oil, the brand Charlotte's Web, when he was 7. But we weren't doing it for seizures originally. We were doing it for the hyperactivity. So we were hoping by giving him CBD oil, it could help with the hyperactivity and that it could help him sleep at night. And what we found was that it seemed to help him sleep at night. I didn't really see him calm down too much during the day. And shortly after that, he started having seizures. And my hope was that because this particular CBD oil we started him on was specifically made for kids who have seizures, that it would be helpful. I honestly can't say for sure if it helped with the seizures, though, because we did start him on seizure medication as soon as the seizure started. So it's hard to say, was it the CBD oil? Was it the seizure medication? Was it both? So, but I can say that it did help him sleep, and he is still taking the CBD oil now.
Are there any adverse effects of the CBD oil?
There have been none. We have to do is every once in a while, we have to take a break from it for about a week or two because he'll build up a tolerance to it. Again, at a low dose, then slowly move up, and then we'll end up, we'll take another break from it. Um, we've never tried anything with THC in it, and I imagine that would be helpful.
Advise those families who have Sanfilippo syndrome to take the CBD oil or ADHD or epileptic seizures?
Um, I don't really I don't really well, yeah, if they ask about it, I'll share my experience, yeah, and I'll tell them, that it did seem to help with the hyperactivity, and again, I'm honest, I'm not sure if it actually helped with the seizures, but, yeah, if they ask, I will share my experience.
Have you ever noticed any improvements in his adaptations over time that might suggest his brain still find new ways to work around challenges?
I definitely think so. I find with, physical therapy and, other therapies that he's done in the past, just he seems to reach goals still. Things have slowed down a little bit as he's probably this past year, but I do think with all of his therapies, along with the stem cell transplant that he had when old, has helped him keep skills for much longer than the average child with Sanfilippo syndrome. But also, I think that like you said, like doing things with his bike and jumping on his trampoline, it's helped a lot. Um, and he does learn new things still, just, not like a typical child.
Can you just give me another example of what he's trying to like what is the motor act he's trying to execute in the upcoming weeks other than riding the adaptive bicycle?
Oh, right. So, well, I would say right now, I can give you an example of like a goal we're working on in therapy. Um, right now, the goal is we're working on communication. And right now, he uses something called a PEX binder. I'm sure you know what that is.
Yeah.
Pictures and everything. But what we're hoping is we're hoping to go to more of a visual a device that he can use his eyes to
Mhm.
tell us what he wants. So right now we have this binder with 2 pictures on it, and we're kind of teaching him how to show us with his eyes what he wants, and he seems to be picking it up.
What do you think about the decision to move forward with the gene therapy? Would it have been different if he had been younger, under 10 years old, with fewer brain lesions and less physical damage? Because I think that there was a video of you talking about possibility of not undertaking the gene therapy. So can you tell us about this decision, whether it is gonna be taken seriously or not?
Right. So if Logan were younger and had less damage to his body and his brain and just in a better place, it would be a very easy decision. We would get that treatment and hopefully it would stall the disease. Um, but now that Logan has had a lot of damage to his brain, he already has a lot of damage to his body. His hips are not great anymore, and he has pain. So I have to we have to ask ourselves: do we want to stop? Definitely have been an easier decision when he was younger, before any damage took place. But, I still don't know what we're going to do, but I do know that it's going to come down to, just what is his overall quality of life gonna look like for the rest of his life if we, were to give him that treatment.
What are the parameters that you are gonna look at before taking the gene therapy?
So I'm not honestly, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how the process works yet,
Mhm.
and what they're going to want, even if I'm not even sure if he'll even qualify for it, when it comes out. This was something that I did bring up to his geneticist, and his geneticist said, "Let's wait, table that until it actually happens, and then we can talk more about the details then." His stem cell transplant, it's a lot more invasive than what they do with gene therapy. There were still a lot of baseline tests that they had to do, cognitive tests, things like that.
How will be your feelings if they accept children under the age of 10 years old?
I think I understand. I think
Mhm.
if Logan, it were years ago, I'd be a little upset about it. But when you think about it logically and you take the emotion out of it, it makes sense. It makes sense that they want kids who don't have a lot of damage yet, because it will work and it will offer them a better quality of life
Mhm.
over kids that already have a lot of damage. He accepted, what Logan's future holds, so I'm not too terribly upset about it. I get it.
How do you explain yoga's value to someone who struggles to recognize his contributions to the world, like his role in spreading awareness about Sanfilippo syndrome, advancing some clinical trials for treatment, and any other social lesson?
Yeah, so I have to do this a lot with people, especially here in the US, because it seems like people in the US value as if they work. And so they see Logan, they're like, he doesn't contribute to society. But
Mhm.
the one thing about Logan is, just like you said, many children have been diagnosed because of Logan, and seeing him and learning about him. He's just been a teacher for tons of medical professionals. And also, Logan has taught a lot of people how to be compassionate and to also look outside the box. Like, one thing about Logan is that's very different is he uses a pacifier sometimes. And people look at that and they're like, that's really weird. And, if you're out in public and you maybe see an older kid with a pacifier in his mouth, you're going to judge. Um, and but people who have seen Logan, they might be like, "Wait a second, maybe there's something going on there. Maybe there's a reason for that." So I think, yeah, he's taught people to be less judgmental, um, and just be kinder.
Well,